Alright, y'all. So y'all probably already been hearing about this, y'all. This is really sad news, but this Titanic tourist submersible destroyed. It definitely imploded, y'all. That's what I'm thinking. It imploded because, if it didn't implode, they could have made it back in time. They could have made it back because if they had like 10 hours left of oxygen, but they're gonna waste it to go, look at the Titanic. They could have said, "Nah, frick that. We got 10 hours of oxygen left. We need to get back up there. We need to get to the top, before this thing like implodes or like we lose oxygen or anything, bro." But you know what? It was on their decision. Actually, I can't say nothing because I wasn't there, so I really don't know what happened. But very sad,
At 3 p.m.
very sad
Eastern, we
information.
got the news everyone was dreading.
In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families.
That's the man heading the multinational task force that has spent the last 4 days searching round the clock for the 5 people on board the Titan submersible. They've used planes, ships, a submarine, subsea robots, even remote-operated vehicles capable of descending all the way to the ocean floor, to the wreck of the Titanic itself, where the Titan was headed. But after an expensive, exhausting, and hopeful search, it is now believed the Titan was destroyed.
Had to have been. Had to have been, bro.
Essentially, we found 5.
Cause the thing, hey, yo, if you didn't know this, the Titan, the whatever it's called, the Ocean Gates, bro, it was never even licensed to go that deep down. It was never licensed. They were just hopping on this thing, hoping and praying it would work. It was never licensed. Nobody ever went down there on that thing. So basically, they were paying $250,000 to hop on the submarine controlled by a controller that's not even licensed to go all the way down there, y'all. Like, that is, I wouldn't know. They're paying to die, basically, honestly. Just being honest with you.
Different major pieces of debris that told us that it was the remains of the Titan.
According to the U.S.
Dang.
Coast Guard, an ROV, a remote-operated vehicle, was able to scour the ocean floor near the Titanic wreckage. A few hundred meters away, they found this.
The initial thing we found was the nose cone, which was outside of the pressure hull.
That was clue number 1. Soon after, they found a large debris field where they found other components. They analyzed what they looked like, compared them to the design.
Bro, just think about this real quick. Just think about it. You're like, how deep down is it? 13,000 feet down? Is it, how deep down is the Titanic? Bro, you're that far down. You are super far down, bro. And then it just destroys and implodes, bro. Holy crap. I would be so scared, dude. Whatever happened down there, no matter what, it was scary because you're so far down, bro, that it's just gonna be scary anyway, bro. Holy crap, dude. The ocean is scary itself, bro. The ocean just scares me itself.
Design specs of the Titan submersible, and it seemed like a match.
Shortly thereafter, we found a second smaller debris field. Within that debris field, we found the other end of the pressure hull, the aft end bell, which was basically comprised of the totality of that pressure vessel.
Dang, bro.
It was all consistent with the components used to build the Titan, but they also think the debris tells them something about how the Titan went down. Not a slow, steady leak, but rather a violent, sudden change in pressure.
This is a incredibly unforgiving.
Hold on, because, bro, wouldn't the bodies float because they're in the water? Wouldn't they float up? Would they or would they not, bro? Wouldn't they float up?
Environment down there on the seafloor, and the debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel.
A catastrophic implosion is what can happen when you are subjected to the incredible pressure of being so deep underwater. You know, the Titan wreckage is about 13,000 feet below sea level. When you're that far down...
So I was right. 13,000 feet. All right, bet. So I know my stuff. I didn't look nothing up, but 13,000 feet.
This is acting on the hull of the ship, many thousands of pounds per square inch. You know, I've heard it compared to having the equivalent of an Empire State Building crushing you from all sides.
We've taken a regular styrofoam coffee cup, and that's then strapped to the outside of the submersible in a net bag. And when we eventually come up topside and recovered, the actual same coffee cup is basically a that size.
The big question right now is how such a catastrophic implosion could have happened. You know, it was an experimental sub. That was literally written on the death waiver passengers have to sign to be allowed on board. And a lot has been said about the cavalier attitude that the company's CEO had when it came to safety.
They had to have known they wasn't going to make it.
With, you know, new materials never before.
They had to have known they weren't going to make it if it was an experiment.
We also learned something from this afternoon's news conference that tells us about the timing of the implosion. You know, you'll recall the Titan lost contact with its mothership on the surface partway through its descent. This was on Sunday morning. They should have returned by the afternoon, but didn't. And it was only that evening the Coast Guard was alerted. Then it was roughly another day until a Canadian plane would arrive, dropping sonar buoys into the water. You can think of those like underwater microphones. It gave search teams listening capability. So here's the thing. There's this period between Sunday and Monday where nobody had any clue what was going on down there. And the suggestion seems to be from the Coast Guard, that's when the implosion likely happened.
This was a catastrophic implosion of the vessel, which would have generated a significant broadband sound down there that the sonar buoys would have picked up.
They would have heard the implosion if it had happened while their sonar buoys were deployed, but they heard nothing.
I think what happened is it imploded right when they lost signal of it. Because they lost signal of it. You know? They lost signal of the submarine, so what does that mean? It probably imploded. Like, don't you think? Does that not make sense? Because, think about it. If basically it's the same thing, like, how could I make this an example? Really, just think about it like this, bro. It imploded and they lost signal. That's really all I can think about. Because if they put stuff after they lost signal, they didn't hear nothing. They didn't hear nothing after they dropped the stuff in there. Then, bro, that means they imploded when they lost signal. That has to mean they lost. Bro, like, these people are just thinking too hard, bro. Like, I'm saying, like, it imploded when they lost signal.
This because it tells us something about what the crew's final moments might have been like. You see, the great fear here was that death would have been slow and unbearable. Imagine, you're trapped all alone in a 22-foot hunk of carbon fiber. It's cold because sunlight can't penetrate the water. There's limited food, limited water to drink, only a single porthole that you can't even look through without powering the ship's lights because it's pitch black on the other side, and you're running out of oxygen. Perhaps a silver lining in all of this is that in the case of a violent implosion, death would have been instantaneous.
On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families. I can only imagine what this has been like for them, and I hope that this discovery provides some solace during this difficult time.
On board the Titan, Hamish Harding, a British billionaire explorer, Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a renowned French diver, Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman, two members of one of Pakistan's wealthiest families,
I cannot go with my
and
son.
Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, the company behind this doomed voyage, finding its final resting place not far from where the Titanic itself sank more than 100 years ago.
That is crazy, bro. Alright, why did this ad have to pop up? Why did this ad have to pop up while I'm reacting to a Titanic sinking? Why did it have to... Bro, worst timing, bro. Oh my, bro. Hey, man. Rest in peace to all of them people, them 5 people. Really
Joining us
sad
now.
event, y'all.